Hello and welcome to Piggz Stadium's site to chase race number 3. We've already got a car out on track, and it is the 22 of Allie Nelson for qualifying. Allie Nelson, driver of the Bill Davis Racing 22, will know that she will race this race. Comes into the race 27th in the owner's points. Team's still looking for its first win on the season, so we'll have to see how that can go and how quick this car will be. Basically, this car has become the test car, I would assume, for the 55 and the 23, as those two try and go for the owners and the drivers chase titles. Hiroshi Kazuyoshi, who also comes into this race knowing that they will race 28th in the owner's points for the Year 1 racing team. The Year 1 sponsored car for Andy Belmont Racing, I should say. But Kazuyoshi just getting up to speed. We'll have to see how they can do. They also are looking for their first win of the season. Kazuyoshi for their first win of their career. Preston Plord, who is also going to know that they will race. They are 18th in the owner's points. Actually would have been top 10 in owner's points, I believe, coming in had they not had the owner's chase, but that's beside the point. No pressure on them to at least race their way in, though. That's the good news. There's the most recent race winner in the closest finish in Coke Vanilla Cup Series history, Sam Curtis, driver of the number 66 Certainty Chevrolet this week. They know that they will race 29th in the owner's points coming in. So very good news for them. 2 wins now on the season for that team. Not a part of the owner's chase, but still, hey, every little bit helps, and it's cool to see that team that is running so well so far. Stephen Paul III, who comes into this race around 8th in the driver's chase. They're 8th in owner's points coming in, due to the owner's chase, I should say, but right now, 7th quickest for them, so we'll have to see how they can do. Draft very crucial on this track, so we'll have to see how that can do on getting guys into this race. Jessica Shelton, the first of the Go homers that we have seen on track, currently 2nd quickest on the speed chart, but will have to make it in on speed. 41st in the owner's points, hasn't made one of the first 2 chase races yet. So they'll be looking to turn that around here and maybe turn around the season looking forward. So, and there's Tom Shelley, Jessica Shelton's teammate. Right now just went to top of the board as the 45 comes into this race 5th in the owner's points, and I believe 5th in the driver's chase. I could be wrong on that. Because there are 2 drivers that are different, so let's see. Someone just jumped up to 2nd. That's the 40 of Matt Dixon, so we'll have to get to them later. Henry Powers comes into this race in a very vulnerable spot. 12th in the owner's points, and I believe they are 12th in drivers. I don't have drivers chase up. That's why I'm saying probably, because drivers in the owner's chase are different coming into this. So, forgive me for that, and I just have to kind of go with it that way. Right now, 22nd quickest for Henry Powers. They have not had the speed when it comes to qualifying, but they've had the ability to try and kind of race well, at least, so that's good news. Troy King is currently 7th quickest, and they have had a very good round number 1. Nearly won at 8 Bowl, but came up 2nd, and currently 4th in the owner's points, looking fairly solid to make it, but there's only one driver who's actually a practical lock for round number 2 that is in this race, and we'll get to that later. Ashley Brock, one of the Go homers, currently 3rd quickest of those cars in this race, 5th quickest on the speed chart. Technically actually 4th when you include the 6th, but again, the 6th locked in due to the driver's chase, so already taking up one of those 12 spots for Go homers. But Ashley Brock not having the best of seasons, but it's kind of turned around as of late, up to 42nd now in the owner's points for the 26. Unfortunately for Roush, 4 of their cars actually come into this race outside the top 30 in owner's points. And I'm just looking real quick. Actually, none of the Roush cars are in the top 30 in the owner's points because none of them are even in the chase. So that's a very shocking thing that Roush has just absolutely struggled this season. They should be getting ready to turn around a little bit. With a good run, the 6 should move into the top 30 in owner's points. So we'll have to see how that goes. Jonathan Zorline, another one of the Go-Go homers, currently finds himself 23rd quickest in this session. That's not going to be good enough, so they're going to need to pick it up before the end of this session. Cosmic Nova, who's a winner of this round of the chase, but comes into this race 38th in the owner's points. They also will have to go make their way in on speed, and they're looking even more bleak than Zorline, 29th on the speed charts for the 41. Kyle Matthews knows that they will race. They are currently knows that he will race. Currently 15th quickest on the speed charts. So good run right now for the 09 car. That you seriously cannot. If you didn't know whether or not it was a Dodge or a Chevy in real life, you would not be able to tell. No manufacturer decals anywhere on that car. Will Lewis currently 3rd quickest, as I mentioned. Technically a Go-Go homer, but locked in due to the driver's chase and that red scheme that he's running. 32nd in the owner's points coming in, and I don't know how... I think they're one of the bottom 4 for the driver's chase, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So, unfortunately, like I said, don't have it up. I cannot tell you 100% on top of my head if they are in the bottom 4. I believe they were, though, coming in. So... Matt Dixon is currently the fastest of the Go-Go homers in this session, so he's got to be happy about that. Knowing full well that 15 cars will go home. Always good to be the fastest of this session. I forget how many Go-Go homers are actually in the session. That's the problem. But either way, for the 40, not even top 43 in the owner's points. They're actually 44th in owner's points coming in with the Lone Star scheme that they're bringing out this week. So let's see how that goes. Tristan Wilhoit is a race winner this season. Currently finds himself 25th quickest, but is a go-or-go homer, so that is not good. They will have to improve their speed if they want to make it into this race. They are a race winner this season, so that's good news for them. I believe that got Wilhoit into the All-Star race for next season, because I believe it's in the second half of the year, or the regular season. But again, I'd have to look at my sheet to. I'm keeping a note too, and I'd have to look at all the notes I have for this to see whether or not he is. But oh well. Wilhoit needing to improve if he's going to make it in on speed or race on Sunday. Dylan Young currently finds himself 16th quickest and 10th in the owner's points coming in. It's been a decent round, not great, but not bad either. Definitely not going to be relaxing too much on Sunday when it comes to the race, because he is definitely one of those in the danger zone of getting eliminated. There's one driver who has a very bleak scenario for him. And again, we'll get to that later. Jeff James, currently 20th quickest, but does know that they will race 23rd in the owner's points for the 00. It's been an up and down year for them. They're still looking for their first win of the year, and maybe they can get one in the final 7 races. Jay Stella in the 01, 19th quickest, one of the go-or-go homers though. They are a former race winner too this season, actually. Their win coming in the regular season, but just not able to get up to the top 30 in owner's points to be able to use it. And right now they're just looking to try and build some momentum going into next year. Jake Baskinger, currently 13th quickest, as there was a spin. I'll have to take a look at that and see what happened if I can remember to. But Baskinger comes into this race 39th in the owner's points with the 18 car. So they are a go homer, and if they can make it, they would look for a good run, maybe try and move their way up to maybe about 35th if they could. With the 05 not here, that's a reasonable goal. Matthew Marias looking solid, 14th quickest right now for them. That might be good enough. I don't know. That's going to be in, I think if you're in that 13th to 18th range, that's where you're going to be borderline to make it in on speed because of the new rules for the chase. So we'll have to see how Marias' speed can hold up. If he can improve, that might help him even better. Ben Neuwirth currently 9th quickest, and this is a car that comes in this race 3rd in the owner's points, very solidly in right now. And looking like he can make some moves. Oh my, wow, what a power move there by the 23 getting by the 90. As you can tell, tire's going to mean something here. Dang, 23.9 to a 24.8, almost a full second quicker. Wow, good job by Ben. 3rd in the owner's points coming in. Should be about the same for the driver's chase. So, maybe even 2nd. It would take a lot to knock him out of the chase, but anything can happen if he wrecks out early, should we say. Eric Enrage comes into this race 25th in our... Sorry, I'm reading that. He's 25th on the speed charts, I'm sorry. 11th in the owner's points, so another team that's kind of in that danger zone right now coming into this race. So definitely going to need a good run here, and it would be helpful to start out with a great starting spot. But at the same point for them, doesn't matter how they qualify, just matters how they race. Henry Sanford, currently 17th quickest for the car that comes in this race, 2nd in the owner's points, looking for its 2nd owner's title for that car, having won the Season 2 owner's title with Trevor Meacham, who also won the driver's title. Not eligible for the driver's championship in this car, but they can try and go for the owners, so that will be good for them. Mary Shelley, currently 10th quickest on the speed charts, the driver's chase champion the defending champion, the current points leader for the Coke Vanilla Cup Series, and the current owner's title leader, as this car is a practical lock to make it into round number 2. For Mary Shelley to actually get eliminated, it would require her to get last place finish. It would require the driver in 13th in points to win the race and lead the most laps. Not to mention the idea that there would also have to be other cars in between 13th and her to also run really well to overtake her in points. Mary Shelley is, assuming one car falls out before she does, will lock her way into round number 2 on points. So Mary Shelley kind of breathing easy out of everyone because no one in the Cup Series has actually won a race out of the chasers, owner's chase or driver's chase, regardless. I gotta actually quickly get through some of these because there's some cars I haven't talked about and I've got a minute. I dilly-dally too much. Alex Hawkins, 19th quickest. Has to improve that if they're going to make the show there. Go Homer. The All-Star race winner doesn't come into this race even in the top 48 in the... or top 46 in owner's points, I should say. Trying to get a good view of the... I was trying to get a good view of the 96. They are also a Go Homer, 34th in the owner's points coming in. Looking good right there on speed right now, I would say. 11th quickest. And then Amy Shelley, who is 12th quickest right now, does know that they will race, but comes in this race in the danger zone. 14th in the owner's points for Amy Shelley and the 89 team. I believe it's about the same. I think the only difference between owners and the driver's chase and the bomb 4 is the fact that you take the 15 out of the bomb 4 of owners and then put the 6 in their spot, because the 6 hasn't had a tremendous round. So I can't get a good look of the 96. That's about as good a view as I'm going to get. Oh, there we go. Good timing. There's a good view of the 96. The Circuit City Chevrolet also coming on board this week. Like I said, 34th in the owner's points for him. Oh, well, I didn't realize that we're already incomplete. Whoops. So, pause that, as there's the running order for practice number 1, Cosmic Nova, the slowest of the 29 to go out. With that, we'll take a short break, and we'll be right back for group number 2 here at Piggz Stadium. We are back for group number 2. Cars already going out onto the track. We've got 2 of them, Daniel Day and Brendan Patterson on track. Patterson, as mentioned in group number 1, one of the Go Homers, as he's one of the drivers for Roush Racing. He's also the top Roush Racing car in the owner's points right now, sitting 31st. Got knocked out of the top 30 last week, looking to make the race and get back into the points. So he can maybe knock out the 07, maybe the 59, one of those cars that's down there, maybe even the 66, we'll see. But first goal for the 17 is going to be make the race, then look for the good run. Probably not going to be one of those guys that can probably try and go out for the win if they don't have a winning car. Can't like risk it or anything, needs a good run. Daniel Day comes in this race 25th in the owner's points, not tremendously on the danger zone. I don't see the point numbers, so I don't remember how much of a cushion he's got. But he is 25th, so kind of in that worry zone, but not maybe necessarily too in danger of falling out. Sam Young, the 07, the all-elusive 30th spot in the owner's points, the only RCR car not in the chase for the owner's points. First lap there puts him 5th quickest right now, so that's a good sign for him. Levi McIntyre 3rd quickest right now, or down to 4th, as this is going to jumble up very quickly and very rapidly. Comes in this race 33rd in the owner's points, and I think actually very high in the driver's points. I'll be right back. And we're back. Where was I now? Okay, we're talking about the 99 here. 33rd in the owner's points. One of the top guys in driver's chase, but I'm not quite sure where at. Currently 7th quickest on the speed charts for Levi McIntyre, so that's looking good. And he does know that he will race. He will be one of the 12 Go Hummers that races no matter what of their speed. So, elimination race upcoming, so we'll have to see if they can survive and whether or not they can keep their locked spot into the races no matter what. Mason Neal, 11th quickest. They know that they will race. The 12 car comes in this race 19th in the owner's points, so good showing for them so far this season. For the Penske team, actually about, looks like top 15 if there was no chase, so we'll have to see how that goes, as some guys just jumped up to the top of the board. And I believe, I cannot confirm this, but I believe Eric Powers just set the fastest lap of both sessions so far. 23.412. I believe the fastest one in Group 1 was a 23.41 with a 5. So by 3,000ths. Robert Pollard in the 72 car will have to make it in on speed. 35th in the owner's points. Right now 13th on the speed charts. The problem with this group is, especially with the Go Homers, I cannot tell you how the times are comparing, especially because I don't have it up here like I normally would. Kyle Collins, a very troubling circumstance for the PPI Motorsports team here for Kyle Collins and Kyle Wells, as they've had a very treacherous first two races of the chase, and it's not looking better here. 25th on the speed charts. But for the 32 car, they come in this race dead last in the owner's chase and dead last of the driver's chase. Both chases they are dead last. And I wouldn't call it a must-win, but they certainly need a top 5 run if they're going to have any shot of advancing to round number 2. Momo Akari, currently 7th quickest in the 2 car. Not a go-or-go homer. 24th in the owner's points for the 2 car, so they know that they'll race. Good job for them so far all season. That's about where they've hung out all season too. It's been up and down whether or not they would make the race or not, and been a struggle for them for most of the year and been totally outshadowed by their rookie teammate. As I was trying to get to the 48 there. William Duncan, currently 19th quickest, one of the go-or-go homers, and it's not looking good for the Hendrick Motorsports team right now. I don't see the 24 anywhere up here either in the top 10. And so maybe, once again, 2 Hendrick cars, maybe even 3 if the 25 doesn't make it, might be looking at going to the trailer. Well, we saw him on pit lane, but there he is. Alex Perkle, currently 2nd quickest in this session. Comes in this race 21st in the owner's points, and this is a car that has really set the world on fire when it comes to qualifying the last 2 weeks. Been very quick all weekend. Haven't gotten maybe the finish necessarily, but definitely have had speed. And if they are using this car as an R&D car for the final 10 races, man, has it been working. They really need to get that stuff onto the 8 and the 15, because Alex Perkle has been quick. Max Neuwirth, currently 10th quickest in the 4 car. Go homer once again, as they have been pretty much all year. Been a struggle for him so far in his rookie year. But just trying to build some momentum before next year, and we'll have to see if he can make the race. That time should be good enough, I would think. Obviously, I have no way of knowing, like I said. Chris Washer is currently 4th quickest in the 5 car, and that car comes into this race 9th in the owner's points, so definitely going to be nervous time for that team. They need a good run to make sure that they will not get eliminated. If they get wrecked out early, they could be looking at a first round elimination, and that would suck for the team that was the regular season points leader, and actually without a chase would still be leading the owner's points by about 59 points over the 8 car. So it's been a struggle though for them, and we'll have to see how that goes. Dylan Thoreau heading to pit lane, 28th quickest for the rookie, 37th in the owner's points, meaning they are a go-or-go homer as well. So that time you're going to need to improve if they're going to make it. Charles Jackson, currently 3rd quickest in the 9 car, 7th in the owner's points standings coming into this one. So again, not a team that's tremendously in danger, but they're not terribly safe either, so they would like to get at least a midfield run. If they can run top 20, I think they would feel probably pretty safe. I don't know. Depends on what happens around them and who finishes where, really. Again, the only way to ensure that they would not get eliminated, win the race. Dylan Casella, 24th quickest, go homer. That time's going to need to improve because that's just not looking good. Sky Commons and the Valvoline Cars Dodge this week. 5th quickest on the speed chart. And they are locked in 17th in the owners points. They would actually be top 5 in the owners points without the chase, but just unfortunately for them didn't win. They weren't high enough in points, and so the 10 car found themselves on the outside looking in. It's just been a tremendous chase run though for them, plain spoiler. Kenny Bale, one of the Go homers, currently finds himself 25th quickest in this group and with no help out there, so they're going to have to find it, and that time's going to have to improve for them to make the show. DJ Curtis, currently 19th quickest. They do know that they will race, so that's the bright side. The problem for them is they are 26th in the owner's points, so kind of falling into that danger zone. DJ Curtis and the Centrix team going to be in desperate need for a good run today, or this weekend. Another driver that's going to need a good run, Theo Stegall in the 15, comes in this race 15th in the owner's points, so they are in the elimination zone. And as I mentioned, they need to probably try and figure out some of the things that the one car's been doing to make their car fast, because it's just not been showing up for Theo. And they could, without a good run and maybe even a win, they could be finding themselves on the outside looking in for round 2. Mason Powers, a Go homer, was quick in the early going of the session, now falls to 22nd quickest. One of the Go homers, they will have to improve that speed if they want to make the race. Zach Kreller, one of the Go homers, and a race winner this season, 43rd in the owner's points for them, 7th quickest on the speed chart. I would assume that that's good enough to make the race, or well, yeah, I would assume that that time would be good enough to make the race. I do not know, though. I really don't. And just kind of looking, I see they are the second quickest of the Go homers in this session. So we'll have to see how that withstands. Chris Louvier, 24th quickest in the 24 car. The Hot Hughes Chevrolet. And that time's going to need to improve if they're going to make the race. Steve Pollard, currently 6th quickest in this session, 6th in the owners, points coming in for the Kirk Shelmerdine team, so they're looking fairly safe. I would be highly shocked if they fall out of the owners chase, despite the idea that they had a very poor showing at 8 Ball, I think it was, but turned it around at Kansas to get themselves into the top 8 at least right now. Remember, teams only needing to be in the top 12 to avoid the first elimination. Ish Taylor, a Go homer, is currently the 3rd quickest of the Go homers in this session, 10th quickest overall. And the 30 doesn't even come into this race top 46 in the owner's points. Seth Cole, 23rd quickest, Go homer, that time needs to improve. So we'll have to see if he can do anything. Gene Sanford, currently 15th quickest, looking to snap what is now a 115 plus race winless streak right now. I'd have to double check the exact number, but it's up there. And a win would be crucial for them too, 13th in the owner's points, but I think first and foremost, just a solid top 10 run should be able to get the 55 to round number 2. Ash Curtis, currently 13th quickest, a Go homer as well in the Furniture Row Chevy. Get a better look at the car there. Let's see how that time withstands. They're 46th in the owner's points coming in. I hadn't shown him on track, but we had seen him. Eric Powers, the fastest car in this session right now, 23:41 with a 2. Like I said, I believe that might be a pole sitting time if it withstands here for the final 90 seconds. And the 88:45th in the owner's points, the lowest of the Robert Yates cars coming into this race. And that actually does it for this. It does it for me, at least, talking about people. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the Go homers and some other guys that are trying to improve their speed. Oh, well, that's actually it for this group. And I did notice that Chris Louvier actually jumped up to 8th in this session, what will be 9th actually, looking at the times because of tiebreaker rules. The 2 is higher up in owner's points than the 24. But that is 3rd fastest of the Go-Go homers there, so let's see how that helps Louvier out or not. You see the fact of just 28 cars in this group, so there you go. Dylan Thoreau, the slowest of them. So with that, that is it for qualifying here for Piggz Stadium. The starting grid will roll up right after this, and I'd like to thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.